This is Robert Kraft, and I'm coming to you live on SNN Live, and we're here at the 9th Annual LD Micro Main Event in Bel Air, California. With me right now is the man himself, Chris Lahiji from LD Micro. Chris, welcome back to SNN Live.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for having us. And again, another fantastic event. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, what's crazy is that I've been fortunate enough to know some of the other conference planners in the space. And historically, people usually start preparing for their events the week after the conference takes place. We have been notoriously known for waiting basically until the last minute. So on September 25th, we had 0 companies in the system. We had 0 attendees. 2 months later, we had roughly 240 names and roughly 1,500 confirmed individuals.
Well, I'd say that's a testament to the brand, wouldn't you say?
It is. It's also the fact that nothing like this exists. People have tried all sorts of things, from trying to serve the same food to taking our companies to people who have previously worked under our organization. It was kind of fun. There was one guy who was paid a little bit of money just to answer what I do on a day-to-day basis in terms of eating and hobbies and things of this nature. So people are trying to figure it out. There is no secret except this. People determine the success of an event.
And you told them Maury watching a lot of,
Oh, yeah. So, look, I mean, it's just like one of these things where it's like, I don't know what the guy told him, but like Chris likes Taco Bell. He enjoys watching Maury Povich. He has a huge bear that he uses as his LinkedIn profile image. Thank you, Rocky Mountain Chocolate, for not suing me or anything. I really appreciate it. I love you guys.
Full disclosure, are you currently a shareholder?
Full disclosure, I am not.
Oh, okay.
I am not. Make sure. No, it's okay. It's I'm not a shareholder at the moment. But going to this, how can I put this eloquently? It starts from the top and it goes down. This is the only place where people can voice their opinion without being reprimanded, without being looked upon oddly, without being disrespected, without being kicked out. These are all the tenets. There was so many things that if you did it at any other conference, people would find fault with it. But here, there's no disagreement. There's just mutual respect. Mm-hmm. So just being able to kind of bring these people back every single year and then make, a couple of additions here and there, it only showcases that I think we're on the right path.
I would agree. And also, so what's your assessment then of this year's event? Because it's the end of the year. It's usually a good reflection of what's been happening in the microcap space. So
let's talk a little bit about the stock market. So what's interesting is that Wall Street factored in that Clinton was going to win the election. And kind of the week or 2 weeks beforehand, the market went like this. It went down and down and down. It was pricing in that Clinton was going to win, and there was probably going to be a lot of regulation and, fewer parties at the strip club, if you will. Once Trump won, it went like this. And there's been a lot of momentum. The thing is, while analyzing the index, sadly, a lot of the momentum is coming from the bigger microcaps. But the small ones have slowly been coming up. There's been more volume, there's been more interest. So I think people are generally in a good mood to say, look, maybe this new administration gives us a little bit more flexibility. Maybe Reg A ultimately delivers on all the promises that people have for it. There is a chance to ultimately make money. And my consensus has always been, if there's a totem pole, everyone has to make money from the top down. And that hasn't been the case with the smallest companies. But people are finally seeing the light. They're saying, look, there's been a few successful names. Who knows? Maybe 2017 will bring more promise. So when you have that, you're going to get a very positive environment. For the most part, I thought people were overwhelmingly optimistic for the future. And, you could feel that. You could feel that resonate, based off the conversations, based off the laughter, based off the enjoyment.
Another thing that I've noticed in microcaps that I think because it's getting a lot more coverage from all the different, types of sources out there, is that it seems that the quality of the microcaps, who may at one point would have been considered not quality, are becoming quality because they're recognizing what investors are looking for as a potential investment. Would you say that's something?
Yes, but I think quality is also predicated on companies getting to GAAP net income. So, the take is that you have to have companies make money.
Right.
Because you're going to go, ultimately in the end, that's why we become owners in a business. And I think that given some of the recent quarterly results that I've seen, a lot of companies that are not profitable are getting closer. And the companies that are profitable are making a little bit more money. So this really helps. I mean, what's unique about the 238 or so companies that came, I think roughly a third of them, they came to the conference for the first time. We had several companies that have presented, they'd never been to any other conferences before. This was the first one. And really, there was a lot of interest in these names. And I think that's really good for the overall environment, especially when you're looking at companies that you don't have investments in.
Would you say also, because along those lines, I've been also seeing a lot less, so it seems like toxic financings too. Because I feel, or maybe, am I wrong? Do you think?
You're always gonna have alternative investments, but it's one of these things where that's always been around.
Right.
What I find unique about that space is how many more people are ultimately providing, alternative forms of finance, and ultimately, we'll see how that plays out. The dilemma is, of course, in a perfect world, you want to basically raise a bunch of money, only straight common and no warrants. The reality is that in some of these companies, the risk factors are a little bit greater, which means that the terms tend to be a little bit more aggressive in nature.
Right.
But we don't really see much change there. The onus, the focus, the desire is that it becomes easier for companies to go public, and those companies that go public make money. So if you have these two things, you're going to have great results. Hanson's Natural was a $40 million company that made money. Monster is a company that makes a crap ton of money. And then you see the ascent, and it makes a lot of sense. We need big winners. So you have 240 companies coming here. There may be one, maybe two, 10, 20, 30, 40 baggers. And that's what the pursuit is. The pursuit is to ultimately find this holy grail.
Yeah. And so what is if you had to look into your crystal ball for the first half of 2017, what do you think is going to happen in this microcap space?
I think it will continue. I think a lot of it is based off what companies ultimately do. I think if the Trump administration showcases leniency towards certain rules, it may give companies that would never consider going public that option. But it's hard to gauge, because it's still hard to gauge now. The index is at an all-time high, which I find fascinating. I just want to make sure that breadth is a little bit bigger. So it goes from 50 million all the way up to 300, and not just the companies that are above 175 million and up. I think it's going to be, I'm cautiously optimistic. On the event side, though, June is going to change a lot. We can't have it in its traditional format. When we did these events, there was no other conferences. Now everyone has their conference either the week before and the week after. I don't know if there's a conspiracy theory to kind of, take the wind out of our sails, but I do think that it's, I find it to be, I'm hoping it's just a coincidence. But as you know, if you do not evolve, you won't be around. And that's the thing. The first event, if I did the same thing as the first event, every single event, there wouldn't be an event. So we will evolve. There's some very unique things that we have planned. And the coolest thing is that we have very large supporters that are willing to take risks with our ideas and our themes. So June will be different. It'll be our 10th year in December. It's gonna be monstrous. What I want to do is I want to bring the best companies from every single year to all have them as one collective whole. So I'm really excited, and hopefully we'll have a budget for entertainment. Hopefully people will enjoy their mints. Hopefully, we'll get.
They'll eat them.
Yeah, man, it's okay. I mean, yeah, we spoke about that earlier. No, you see, that's the thing. I mean, what's crazy is that I don't think anyone has any idea what we have planned, and that's the way I want to keep it. I think we should still have the secret keynote.
McAfee was a complete shock to everybody.
John, listen. So John and I know each other, and we're friends because he was a big part of the Libertarian Party this year. The guy basically created security on computers. I don't think anyone had any idea that was planned, but But that's part of coming to these conferences. If people are taking time out, they're getting on shitty planes, getting strip searched by the TSA, staying at crappy hotels, driving crappy cars to get here, you have to give them something that nobody else can. And that's the experience. I think that's why people ultimately come. And, hopefully for as long as I'm around, I want to make sure that never changes. I want to make sure that people can come here with the comfort of knowing that regardless of their opinion, as long as it's respectful, they always have a pass. And look, go to any other conference, maybe with the exception of, Roth and Noble, and people tend to be a little bit on the tighter side of things. I don't see as many people laughing or smiling or cracking jokes. There's a lot of inappropriate jokes here. I'm not saying that that's good, but I'm just saying that this has been years in the making. It's also the only place where the powers of the sell side and the buy side meet. I think there's some very unique aspects in that. But we're going back to our roots. 10 is going to bring the best from 8, 9, 10, all the years up. And I'm going to be excited to feature all of them.
Awesome. So where can our audience go and find more information about upcoming events,
Look,
the index?
Use this. Just use it. Just go on it for 30 seconds. Go to ldmicro.com, okay? And if you don't find it useful, email me and tell all the things that you hate about the site. I'm really interested. I don't like compliments as much as I like people giving me good reasons as to why something sucks, okay? So I don't get it. It's the traction is there, it's growing, but I still don't understand why people don't realize that this is the greatest resource this industry has ever had. Go on it. See what the hell is going on. Search for companies. Search for news. Look at the indicators. I'm saying this is the dream tool for anyone who's in this space. And then keep updated for what the events are going to be like. Hopefully, we'll announce the dates relatively soon, and hopefully, we don't have to wait until 63 days before the event to say, "Oh, we have an event. We should start moving." But I want to thank you guys for being a big support from the inception to now. I want to thank all the sponsors who believed in us when nobody else did, all the sponsors that helped us this year, all the attendees, everyone. You see, the thing I always say is, you know who you are. I want to really appreciate this because this is truly a team effort. There is no way in hell and just one person can do this. I want to thank my staff. They were exemplary throughout. It's just, the hardest thing about an event is that there are so many variables that you don't have control over. Just like in life, just like in the stock market, it's ultimately who you surround yourself with. And I'm appreciative to all of them. So with that, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Kwanzaa?
Merry Kwanzaa.
Merry Kwanzaa, Happy Festivus. We have
the rest of us?
For the rest of us, that's right. Enjoy yourself, be thankful for everything, and hopefully we'll have a good new year in 17.
My name is Robert Kraft, and I'm coming to you live on SNN Live, and we're here at the 9th Annual LD Micro Main Event in Bel Air, California. With me again, the man, Chris Lahiji, LD Micro. We'll see you in June. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, guys. Be well.